guys to my series of Star Wars reviews leading up to The Last Jedi coming out on Thursday. I've covered the prequel trilogy. Now it's time to review the original trilogy. One of the best trilogies, ever. The original trilogy is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I really love the Star Wars original trilogy. It's always been the best. The prequels, ugh. This movie made me forget about the prequels. Because these three movies are awesome. But I have to get them talked about because on Thursday's coming out, today is Monday, so I have Tuesday and Wednesday to review all of those movies. So today is Monday, so let's review the movie that started it all, Star Wars, or Star Wars A New Hope, but I'm calling it Star Wars back in 1977. It is called Star Wars. George Lucas must have changed the name because of the prequel trilogy came out. But I'm calling what it is from 1977. It is Star Wars, which it is directed by George Lucas. Back in 1977, I heard this movie was the biggest box office mix than Jaws. Jaws was the first ever summer blockbuster, but Star Wars totally bet Jaws. It's bigger than Jaws, and this is probably the most original movie at that time that's ever created. And this is it might not be the first time, but it may be one of the best special effects back then. And a lot of people love Star Wars. They went to a screening and they loved that movie back in 1977. My dad even watched Star Wars as a kid with his dad. It's just, he loves it. He said it was the best cinema experience he has been in. So I get the chance to watch the trilogy again before I review those movies, and I just love them. Especially this movie, Star Wars. It's one of the best introductions of the trilogy, of all time. So guys, let's review this movie. This review, just like the other Star Wars movies, this review will contain some spoilers. If you haven't seen Star Wars A New Hope or Star Wars, seriously, have you been living in a cave or something? But I would say, my advice, watch the movie first and come back to this review, because I'm basically going to talk about most of the movie right there. I'm not going to talk about the whole movie. I'm just going to talk about maybe the main points that happen throughout the movie. So, let's get started. So right from the start of this movie, you get to see a Star Destroyer, a huge Star Destroyer destroying this little ship. And you can tell, just by that shot, we know what we were going into. That shot was amazing. It was terrifying. You get to see a low shot, you get to see the bottom of the ship. There's a little Star Destroyer that just passed, and then you see the Star Destroyer, and it is huge. It is big, and I'm like, how's that little rebel ship is going to destroy that? It's no way. And then we get to introduce to Darth Vader, one of the greatest villains and greatest badasses in movie history. The way he's introduced is one of my favorite villain openings of all time. You see him coming out of that smoke, and you can tell without any dialogue, he is the villain. Of course, he is the villain of the whole trilogy, and the way he's introduced was fantastic. I love James Earl Jones as Darth Vader. He's one of my favorite villains. Every single time I see him in a Star Wars movie, even when I was younger, he was terrifying and menacing, and I really love Darth Vader in this movie. Then we get C-3PO and R2 basically escaping the Star Destroyer, and the CGI in this movie still holds up till this day. This movie doesn't feel like it's dated. This movie came out in 1977, so it's this movie came out that long ago. And it still holds up. It's so impossible for that. Because in Star Wars Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, the CGI was so dated. And in 1977, it's so weird because the movie came out way back then, and the CGI still looks freaking amazing. It's just wonderful. So we get C-3PO and R2-D2 landing in Tatooine, which is the worst place on Earth when you see in the movie. Seriously, there's nothing happening. It's just a plain desert, and it's you don't want to live there. You just want to go out in space and join the Jedi Force, the Jedi Council, and all that stuff. You don't want to live in a strange desert. And then we get to introduce to the main hero of this trilogy, Luke Skywalker, played by Mark Hamill. The way he's introduced, he turned into a whiny person, just like Anakin was in the prequels. So no wonder he was a bit whiny. But he was oh, I had to go to this place to get some power converters. And we think he's whiny, but then throughout the whole movie, he was a great character. And you can tell why he wants to be someone else, because he is working with his uncle Owen. And basically, he doesn't like his job. He doesn't like collecting junk. He doesn't like collecting those droids. He just doesn't want it. He just wants to go up in the galaxy and just be a Jedi. There is one great scene in this movie, one of my favorite scenes ever in the Star Wars movie, is when Luke Skywalker went outside in the sunset and you see these two suns, and that was an amazing scene. No dialogue, but John Williams' score with it is amazing. Basically, John Williams does the best scores of the Star Wars movie. The Star Wars theme, I listen to it quite often. Like, every time I watch the Star Wars movie, when it says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and the bang, the Star Wars logo coming out with the theme, I was like, yeah. Even with The Force Awakens, when it's back, I was just like, yes, we're back! Like, it's just, the theme was amazing. I really love the theme of the Star Wars movie, even the whole score. But my favorite score in the movie is when you see Luke coming out of those two suns with that. And I was just like, it's freaking amazing. I just love that scene a lot. But now we get to introduce to Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Alec Guinness. I hope I say his name right. Which he was fantastic in the film, by the way. And he's teaching Luke Skywalker, basically telling him that he has to go out and save Princess Leia, because Princess Leia is stuck with Darth Vader in the Star Destroyer, and basically he has to go out and rescue her. And he said he can, because he has to stay with his uncle, and his uncle doesn't let him be a Jedi, but he really wants to. And then we get a really tragic scene where his home was destroyed, his aunt and uncle has died, and it's really gory, actually. You get to see blood and skeletons everywhere. It's probably the darkest scene in this movie. And you get to see how Luke is feeling. And then he decided, I'm going out to stop Darth Vader and rescue that Princess Leia. I want to be a Jedi. I just want to be in the universe. And that's amazing. I love Luke Skywalker in this movie. I love his emotions that affected him. It's just, you can tell his character was very realistic. But then we get to introduce one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars movies, Han Solo and Chewbacca. The way they were introduced was freaking amazing. Harrison Ford as Han Solo was, he's a badass. I just love him driving the Millennium Falcon. We introduced to the Millennium Falcon, one of my favorite starships, like, ever. I would drive the Millennium Falcon, that is for sure, because that thing is freaking amazing. I just love that ship. And the special edition, I have seen the special edition, and we get a scene with Jabba the Hutt, and it makes me forget it. No. Forget the special edition. Don't watch the special edition. Watch the theatrical. Just wait till he's in the Return of the Jedi, which I'll review that Wednesday. And tomorrow I'll review The Empire Strikes Back. But anyway, back to the movie. So we get to see Han Solo and Luke Skywalker basically going out to save Princess Leia, played by Carrie Fisher. And I really love Princess Leia in this film. And by the way, rip Carrie Fisher. We always missed you. Star Wars: The Last Jedi might be the greatest last movie for you. And we get to see Princess Leia. And what I like about Princess Leia so much is that she's not just a damsel in distress. She can actually take care of herself. And she was really badass. There are some scenes that she's just like, she has attitude. And I just like her in this entire film. There's one funny part with her in the film where she's making fun of Chewbacca, saying that he looks like a carpet. And I was laughing my head off. It still made me laugh through this day, because Chewbacca is just like, poor Chewbacca, man. You got raped, man. Like, Chewbacca is awesome. I just like Chewbacca. He's just really cool. I can't do that Chewbacca thing. But then we get to see my favorite lightsaber fight in the Star Wars trilogy, where you see Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader fighting. And I just love the quote that he says in the fight, saying,
"You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine."
I was like, that's one of the best quotes from Alec Guinness. It's just amazing. Rip him as well. He's actually died before I was born. That was really weird. I thought he died like ages away. But still, he was great. And I really love that quote in the movie. And then he sacrificed himself for Luke and Han, and Darth Vader killed him. It's kind of sad a little bit, because Obi-Wan's a really cool character. Even in the prequels, he was cool. Ewan McGregor did a great job. And Darth Vader is just like, Darth Vader is awesome. I just can't help saying Darth Vader is amazing, because Darth Vader is like one of the most biggest badasses in like movie history, like ever. And then we get to the final conclusion of the movie, where Luke Skywalker and all the rebellions and the Jedi go out and destroy the biggest thing and the biggest threat of the galaxy, the Star Destroyer. Because remember in Rogue One: Star Wars Story, where the rebels have take planes out of the Death Star? Yeah, that movie's before this movie. and we get to see Luke destroying the Death Star. And that scene was really freaking fun. It was a really great scene. The explosions, like, it's mind-blowing. It's freaking amazing. Seriously, guys, overall, Star Wars, or Star Wars A New Hope, but I'm calling it Star Wars. This movie came out in 1977. The effect still lives up to this day. There actually are some dark moments in this movie too. You remember the bar scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi just grabs the lights and cut the guy's arm off? That was dark, and that was really freaking glory. There are some violent scenes with Star Wars, but you know what? Star Wars is a classic. It's one of the best introductions to a trilogy. It's nearly actually one of my favorite movies of all time, with Empire Strikes Back, which I'm reviewing that next. But overall, guys, Star Wars is amazing. If you haven't seen Star Wars, like, seriously, where have you been? Have you been living in a cave or something like that? I'm gonna give Star Wars an A+. So guys, tomorrow my review of The Empire Strikes Back is next. I just gotta get this trilogy done before Thursday when I watch The Last Jedi. I'm really freaking excited for that. So guys, have you seen Star Wars? What do you think of that movie? Comment below, let me know what you think. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and may the Force be with you.